What would a trip to Italy be without a tour of a vineyard? Back in California, we've been making wine for nearly 400 years. Here in Italy, they've been making wine for nearly 2,000 years. And many of the family vineyards in the Chianti region have been cultivating the land for nearly 1,000 years or more. Our tour guide, Todd Bolton, founder of Tuscany Trails, is an American who has lived and worked in Italy for 12 years. He has extensive training as a sommelier and is an expert in all things related to wine and olive oil in Italy. Our first stop in the Tuscany countryside is at Castello de Trebio, a family-owned vineyard that produces 350,000 bottles of wine each year. Anna Bai Macario, the owner, is a third-generation wine producer. Anna's husband manages 1,000 acres, and the entire family lives in the castle once owned by the infamous Poggi family, rivals of the Medicis. There is so much to learn about wine, so for this story we decided to focus on two things: wine classifications and how to read a wine label. Italians began developing official wine classifications in the 1960s. The classifications of wines are separated into 3 tiers. Starting with the Denominazione di Origine e Garantita, or DOCG, is the highest classification for Italian wines. It denotes controlled production methods and guarantees wine quality. There are strict rules that govern the production of DOCG wines, most obviously the permitted grape varieties, yield limit, grape ripeness, winemaking procedures, and barrel and bottle maturation. Each DOCG bottle goes through a wine tasting process, and to prevent counterfeiting, the bottles have numbered government seals across the neck. Next on our list of wine classifications is Denominazione di Origine Controllata, or DOC wines. It is the main tier of Italian wine classification and covers almost every traditional Italian wine style. There are around 330 individual DOC titles, each with a set of laws governing its viticultural zone, permitted grape varieties, and wine styles. Of those wines that show a consistent high quality earn promotion to DOCG status. The last classification of wine is the Indicazione Geografica Tipica, or IGT. IGT was introduced in 1992 to allow a certain level of freedom to Italian wine producers. Many wines failed to qualify for DOC or DOCG status prior to 1992, not because they were of low quality, but because they were made with grape variety and blends that were not approved by the DOC and DOCG laws. IGT classification focuses on the region of origin rather than the grape varieties or wine style. The primary pieces of information that the Italian wines communicate to the consumer are alcohol content, appellation title, bottler information, bottle volume, classification, estate name, importer, and vintage year. Now that you know a little more about wine classifications and labeling, you too can be confident when ordering a glass of wine in Italy. Come experience the beauty of Italian culture through its wine, delicious food, Italian art, and cinema. You can do this all on a budget.
He was very nice about it.
Yes, very kind of